Morning. Today I thought I would dehydrate some minced garlic because I was looking on the back porch in my pantry and I noticed that I have all this garlic and it says it's going to expire soon. I think this one is. Anyway, I don't want my garlic to go to waste, so what I'm going to do is dehydrate it because I don't have any dehydrated minced garlic. And I'm telling you, I don't know about where you live, but here you can't find it. I can't find it in Walmart. I can't find it in Dollar General. I cannot find it even at the Dollar Tree. I can't find it. So I'm just going to do my own. So I got these from the Dollar Tree back when it was actually the Dollar Tree. This I got from Sam's Club. It was only like $5, maybe $4 at the time when I bought it. I bought it like last year. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open these up, and I got me 2 strainers in case one doesn't hold it all. I can use the other one. That's the very first thing I'm going to do is pour it in there and let the juice completely drain off. Drain off as much juice as I possibly can. And then I'm going to put them in the dehydrator. We'll go to that step in just a minute. Okay, it's draining and it's near about all drained out. Do not throw your garlic juice away. You know that you can also put it in your dehydrator and dehydrate it, and then you can use it as a garlic powder to put in lima beans or, just whatever you want to put it in. But waste not, want not. So, yeah, keep it. So what I'm going to do, these are so very fine. See how fine they are? What I'm going to do, I'm going to smell like garlic when all this is over with. My mom's going to get up and say, "Oh, what are you cooking? It smells like garlic." I've only got 2 of these trays. I wish I had more because these would be perfect. But I'm going to use these 2 trays. And then I'm going to take these mesh trays. And since the holes are quite large in them, well, where that would probably fall through if it dried, when it dries, I'm going to stagger these where it'll be a lot easier when it dries. Not as much will fall through. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a very, very thin layer on here, and then I'll come back. Okay, I got 5 layers on here, and this is what I mean by a thin layer. Just put it down and just pat it real, real thin. Don't glob it up real thick. Just do it the best you can, because this is not the easiest stuff to work with. And a little tip for you, save your container, wash it out, make sure it's good and dry, and then once this gets dehydrated and it gets conditioned and it's ready to go in the jars, then you can put it back in the container it came in. So now we're going to go take it outside because it's like onions. You cannot dehydrate this stuff inside the house. It will stifle you. You won't be able to breathe, and your whole house will smell like garlic. Trust me, you just want to go outside and do this. So I'm going to take it outside, and what I'm going to do, this is a Presto Hydro. It is one of the cheapest, well, I won't say cheapest, but economical dehydrators on the market. So that's all I could afford at the time. I wish I had Excalibur, but doesn't everybody? I needed one that has controls on it where you can set the temperature, because herbs and fine things like this, foods like this, you have to do a lower temperature, but I don't have that option with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there, I'm going to plug it in, I'm going to let it start drying, and then every hour I'm going to come back and I'm going to check it. And it took a little longer than I thought. I didn't think it would take that long for them to dehydrate, but it took pretty much all day. It will stick because they were very juicy even though I drained the water or the juice off of them. They feel really dry to me. So you do what Darcy from the Purple Pantry, I think that's her, Purposeful Pantry, says that you do is you put them in a jar and you condition them, which means you put them in a jar and every day you put them on the counter, and every day you get out there and you shake them and you look for condensation, because if you have any of that, then they've not been dehydrated long enough and they still have moisture content in them, which will make everything you have mold and go bad and you won't be able to eat it. So I'm going to go through all these. I'm going to put them in the jars and I'm going to show you what they look like. This is what it looks like after I took it off of the dehydrating sheets. And I'm telling you, this is not an easy thing. If you're not really into dehydrating, I don't know if I would even try this. It wanted to stick so bad. I had to take a knife and I had to scrape it. After I tried to bend these, I don't know if it was easier to dehydrate them on these sheets or if it was easier to dehydrate them on these sheets. They both had their pros and cons. They came off kind of easier with this as far as scraping it with a knife, but this is more pliable. So either way, they feel sticky. It just feels sticky to me. And see, hold on. See how it's still sticking to my hands? So, and some of this just still feels pliable. And I'm not sure if it's quite dehydrated enough. Some of it probably is, but big pieces like this probably is not. So what I may do is put it back in those trays. And this time I don't have to use all the trays because, of course, it's shrunk down. But I think I'm going to put it in there and dehydrate it for another couple hours maybe. Keep an eye on it because garlic is one of those things that can burn even in a dehydrator. So let's try that because I'm just not happy with it yet. To me, it just doesn't feel like it's dehydrated enough. It should not be that sticky. Sometimes things are pliable right after you take them out, but this has been sitting. I've let this sit overnight. So if it was just from the heat, they would have already been so dry and crumbly. So anyway, we're going to try that, and then we're going to come back and see what it looks like then. Okay, I dehydrated it for about 2 more hours, and then I let it completely cool, and then I even let it sit overnight. Now, it still has stickiness to it. I don't know if that's normal or not, so if you've ever dehydrated garlic like that, let me know. If you know something I don't know. But it's crispy. The pieces that have stuck together. See? So I'm scared to dehydrate it anymore because I don't want to burn it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in a jar and we'll just check on it periodically for about 10 days or so and shake it, look for moisture inside the jar, look for condensation, and it's probably going to stick in the jar because it's, like I said, it's sticky feeling to me. But we'll see. Okay, I got it all taken out, which was a chore. I'm not going to lie to you. It was not easy, and yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do this again. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, it's in the jar. And so for the next 10 days or so, like I said, you're going to look and you're going to see if there's any kind of condensation on the inside. Flip your jar, see if it's going to stick to the glass. Look for any kind of mold or anything like that. If you have anything like that, then you didn't do it right and you're going to probably have to throw it out. If you see mold, definitely in anything, throw it out. So, okay, well, we're going to check it every day, and we're going to see what it does. Hey guys. Alright, it's been about 10 days, and every day I have picked it up, I have shook it to make sure. Some of it, a little bit sticks on the bottom, but if you shake it, it just comes undone, so nothing with that. I looked, there was no condensation at all, because if there is, you'll see it. No sign of spoilage, no molding, no nothing. So, I am so pleased with it, and let's see. It still kind of has a tacky feeling to it, but it's been sitting on the counter for 10 days, and I suppose that's what it's supposed to feel like. Anyway, it's going to be used in my household. And there you go. Whole quart jar of minced garlic, just ready to be used in some beans or in some soup or whatever. So, okay guys, I hope you have a great day. Enjoy your day. I'm going to enjoy the rest of mine. It's so hot outside. It's like 91 degrees. So, enjoy your day, and see you in the next video.